Hi there, Research Methods. This is your walkthrough for SPSS Lab assignment number 10, chi-square. So chi-square is a statistic we use to compare how we would expect a certain variable to look if all things were equal, and compare that to what we actually observed to see if they're statistically significantly different. Again, we're trying to see if there's anything going on here other than what we would just expect from chance. So to do a chi-square test, we're going to run a cross tabulation and add the chi-square statistic to that. So we're going to go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Crosstabs. Right-click over here and say Display Variable Names as usual. And you want to put the site type in this rows box and crime in the column box. So I'm going to scroll down until I find crime. There it is. Make sure you grab this one, crime, and put that in the columns box. Now we're going to go into the statistics button and check this box right here that says chi-square and say continue. We also want to click on this cells box and check the box for expected. So observed and expected. And say continue. And now say OK. So here we're looking first for whether there is a statistically significant difference between what we would expect and what we actually observed. So again, we're looking for this significance. This in chi-square, it's the asymptotic significance. And we again want this number to be less than 0.05. So it is less than 0.05. So that means that what we observed is statistically different from what we would expect. So that's your first question for lab number 10. So be sure to answer that in your D2L Dropbox. The next question is, which cell seems to be driving this finding? So which has the biggest difference between the count and the expected count? So we're looking at a couple different things here. So here you can see for each of the site types, there's the count and the expected count. But then we're also looking at this observed criminal activity, no versus yes. So you can kind of imagine this is one square we're comparing, and this is one square that we're comparing. So for community gardens that did not have criminal activity, we observed 296, and we would have expected 292. That doesn't seem like a huge difference, right? So now let's go down to vacant lots and look at vacant lots that did. So yes, for observing criminal activity. We would have expected to have seen criminal activity at vacant lots 40 times. And in reality, we saw crime at vacant lots 23 times. That's a little bit bigger difference. So I want you to kind of go through and compare all of those little cells there and tell me in the D2L Dropbox which of these cells you think has the biggest difference that might be driving this statistically significant finding. So be sure to tell me, say you thought it was community gardens. Yes, community gardens that did see criminal activity. Or maybe you think it's parking lots that didn't have criminal activity. I'm just looking for you to kind of find one that seems to have the biggest difference between what was expected and what we actually observed. And then put that in the D2L Dropbox. And don't forget to save this output and then upload it to D2L. And remember to stay in the virtual lab when you're uploading to D2L because that's where you will have saved this output file. And we'll see you next time.